Hey everybody, welcome back to Captain of Industry. Hope you're having a great day today. This video is going to take a look at solving a potentially dire situation. I'm going to pause this. We're going to spend some time talking about things. If you remember the last video, we had a crisis of oil supply. All of our boats were working just fine, but they just simply were not able to bring in enough oil to satisfy the demands of everything on our island, right? And so oil became very hard to get. The oil rigs on the map, well, if I can click them, the oil rigs on the map, they were nearly full, right? They were up to like 90% full, and the boats just simply weren't doing it very well. So I went ahead and brought the labor down so that I could have more workers and free up that unity and everything, right? Well, now I've put them back because we have this boat upgraded, right? We managed to get this boat upgraded, which is very good. Unfortunately, it happened a little bit too late, and we're now in a serious maintenance crisis. Everything in the game is connected to everything else. So if you're missing one resource, it shuts down your entire island eventually. That's just the way it is in this game. So what we need to do, we're going to go back to school, right? I'm going to go back to college here, and we'll walk you through a little journey as I was attempting to earn anyway. At the time, my economics degree. And we're going to talk a little bit about economics with this. And we're going to try to figure out how to solve this problem. Because essentially what we have as a problem right now, what we essentially have is inflation. We have a massive inflationary environment. And it is not so much with currency, since there's no, I'm not trading gold or anything here. But if you count all other resources and the things in which this demands, for example, this thing demands these resources, right? If you count everything needing certain other things, then that's basically a currency, okay? And with that, we have a massive demand pull effect on everything right now. We simply do not have enough supply to satisfy demand. So what we need to do is fundamentally we're going to go ahead and kill our economy, okay? That's the short way of saying it. We're going to kill our economy, and the hope is that we can implement an artificial demand destruction, if you will, so that we can hopefully bring demand down to satisfy our supply. That's a rough way of saying what I'm going to do here. Couple of things I need to take care of so that we don't lose everything with our farms. We're going to be using our unity. We don't have any, but we have a good surplus per month. At least we did before I put those guys in the rigs. So that's probably going to adjust. But we are going to need to make sure that we maintain every single machine that is vital to this recovery, and basically forego and forget everything that's not vital, okay? So how are we going to destroy our economy? How are we going to destroy demand? Well, I think the best thing to fix right now is maintenance, because it's going to shut everything down. So maintenance is our currency, and everything is demanding it. So the only way to kill the economy in that regard, and the only way to reduce the demand in that regard, is start pausing things. So we're going to start pausing a whole lot of machines here. When you pause them, they don't require maintaining anymore. So that's less need on the system. We're going to basically reduce the number of things in the game that are requiring us to maintain it by simply pausing them. This is going to effectively shut down a lot of our island. But if we can get things under control and get maintenance caught up, we can then slowly start turning things on and allow it to sort of balance itself out as we restore order to things, okay? So you can see a lot of stuff in this island now is kind of shut off, and we're losing chickens like crazy because we just simply don't have enough chicken feed. We don't have enough feed, which is a real bad deal, unfortunately. I'm not entirely sure how to solve that at the moment. A lot of these farms are down because of maintenance, and that might be why too. Their corn's not being grown, their crop isn't coming out, and that could be a problem. I think one thing I'm going to do, I think here, is just turn off the priority on this. And that should allow everything to kind of be evenly distributed so that we can get a little bit more resource, I guess, put into the system. And because we can get a little bit more resource sent this way, maybe we can get enough chicken feed to hopefully save the chickens. If we get to 0, then we have to buy them again. So the hope is, obviously, we can get the feed recovered a little bit here and hopefully restore this. All right, so that's If that doesn't happen, then it doesn't happen. It is what it is. Let's take a look at where we can cut further. All right. These require maintenance too. We have lots of copper. Okay. So we can afford to shut down, let's say 2 of these, and maybe we'll shut down the 2 that are already paused because of maintenance. So these ones can keep running. This one's shut down because of maintenance, but I might be able to recover that. And we probably don't need to, process any slag or anything like that. We can shut those off. I think we can probably go down to, see, the thing is, if I go down to 2 on this, then these will get backed up. And I can't really afford to do that. So I do need all of these to be working so that my water waste can keep running. Okay, so we have this area over here too, and this is a lot of our water grid stuff. Thankfully, one of them is still operational. So like we can still technically provide water to people. And intermittently, we will get maintenance delivered to these things, and that will allow them to keep operating. But I'm going to have the first 2 here put to priority 1. We are going to shut down the non-essentials. So that involves household goods and glass. Now, glass, we can actually shut that down a little bit easier as well by basically eliminating the supply of coal going that direction. We don't want any coal going that way right now. All coal should be directed this direction. And that is so that we can keep our supply of coal running through to steel. Obviously, maintenance is an issue with that. So let's try and see if we can fix that too. We have a huge supply of steel, and these 2, which are not going to currently do anything because they're supposed to go that way. That whole thing is shut down. So we're going to do a temporary redirect here and get this coal supply or steel supply, whatever you want to call it. Just going to go ahead and do that. I don't have the Unity to build it, but I will in a second. And this is going to send the steel that's in this storage back over this way. Then what we're going to do is reverse the direction on this belt. That's going to send all the steel back into maintenance, okay? And we want to make sure we do what we can to get these going repaired too. Okay, so as long as our mechanical parts makers are constantly making, that's great. We need to take a look at our supply. So right now, that's our problem. It's not rubber at the moment. It's mechanical parts. We're going to fix that by redirecting the steel from this direction. All right, that's going to help us quite a bit. And I can go ahead and shut this down too, so that it doesn't go in a cycle. That's a little silly. All right, so that's going to feed steel into maintenance. Good. So let's take a look at rubber. Rubber's our other thing. Now, we're currently making 18, 36. My math is terrible. Let's go with 54. 54 rubber every 60 seconds is what we're currently making. Is that enough? Well, for electronics. Oh, you're paused. Oh, you really shouldn't be paused. For electronics, we're currently consuming 24. So that should be plenty, as long as we can keep that operational. We're going to be creating 96 electronics per 60 seconds, and we're currently consuming 48 with these. So we should be creating twice as many electronics as we need for maintenance. I've shut this belt down so that all of our electronics are now being directed this direction, okay? So maintenance should be good to go as long as we can get that going faster. So we're going to boost these 3 and see if we can't get them really cranking this out faster. So that we can get stuff back online. I need my farms to not shut down. It's super important that my farms stay operational so that my chickens and stuff can survive. And I don't have enough Unity here. Let's take a look really quick at waste as well. Waste is piling up. And that's what this little, well, there was an orange icon in the streets, but it's starting to get solved now a little bit. But there was this orange icon that was in the streets here. Looks like we can also process this biomass. So let's see if we can't get some more fertilizer by doing that. I need food, basically. Yep. All right, good. Now we have massive unemployment. That tends to happen when we destroy demand. I need to focus on coal getting here. So in order for coal to get here, we of course need fuel. Let's take a look at that really quick. So the coal is gone. That just left. Perfect. So if we can get these repaired, then our coal supply can come in here. I do wish it was a larger supply, but it is what it is. This is maxed out. Wood could be maxed out as well. We have the jobs for it. The only problem is, again, we don't have fuel. So for the fuel problem, this is even more challenging to solve because we currently have this situation now where we need to be supplying this area a surplus in fuel in order to meet the naphtha demand. And so fuel and naphtha are kind of tied together right now. And that is by design. I'm not entirely sure how I could have done it differently to make it not that way. But one thing I will say, though, is as long as we're producing enough light oil, we should be producing enough naphtha. Now, if we wanted to, and then we need to do this too, with the fuel gas and everything for diesel as well. We need to reduce the demand on diesel, all right? So reducing the demand on diesel, and we shouldn't need to, all right? I want to prefix this by saying we shouldn't need to. These guys are only consuming 1/4 of what we're producing, like diesel-wise. So the whole of this is being taken by the massive amounts of vehicles, basically. There's a couple of other things I wanted to look at too regarding vehicles. Coal supply gets constrained before. I know there's a lot to cover and I'm kind of jumping around, but I'm hoping you can keep up with me here. I've spent a little bit of time looking at this problem. So coal supply is constrained because this mine gets out this far and they have to drive farther to deliver it. Likewise, as they get out this far, they start to mine materials that are not coal, like the rock that's right here, right? Or the dirt that was over here. And so that process of getting it is not as close, not as good, not as efficient. So I've gone ahead and I've made them make a ramp here. We're going to go down to -12 and we're just going to be mining more here. There is more coal deep down and I want to get those resources. So now these trucks should be bringing it. But this game, it's fantastical glory, for some reason wants them to prioritize bringing it here instead. So these trucks will literally take this coal, for example. It will bypass this tank entirely and it will go all the way around and deliver here anyway. It's really stupid. So what I've done here is I've turned this to import 7 and this one is still 9. And that should give this the priority so that these guys don't do stupid things like going all the way around to deliver here when they don't need to. All right. So right now, Unity is super important because it's the only way we can keep critical infrastructure online. If the generators go down, there's no way to fix it. So I'm trying to get maintenance under control first so that we don't have to worry about Unity. So let me get some of these notices. And again, I wish these notices would go to the other side of the screen so they don't cover this, but that's just how this works. It's really, really good to get this in. There we go. It looks like if the boat leaves and one of these needs maintenance, when it leaves, it doesn't bring the oil supply back. I really hope that's not the case. That's a really silly thing if that's how that works. But it's looking like that's how that works. So again, more oil is now coming in. And I think probably what I'll do here is I think I can kill these 2 pipes. I don't think these 2 pipes are going to do anything for me here. So we can get some of our supply back that way. And maintenance is going to take a while. This corrections process is going to take a very long time. We're also going to pause all glass because it's not receiving coal right now anyway. And because we're not receiving any glass, we can't create any household goods. So we can reduce the demand of maintenance on this too. So household goods there's barely anything left. And we stockpiled a little bit. Show you. Well, not anymore. I'm too late to show you now. We had stockpiled a little bit. These were both full, and this was about half full. Now it's empty because I haven't been creating any, right? See that these guys are looking okay, full of water. All the wastewater is going down. Very good. Okay. For the waste, since it's building up, and that's going to create a health problem, what I need to do is dump a little bit closer. So I've activated this as the dumping zone. And so now a lot of the trucks have been told to dump here. Unfortunately, most of the trucks will just sit here and do nothing. Unsure exactly why that is. I can tell them to go faster by, I guess, assigning more of them. But like all of our spare trucks, they're just going to sit here and do nothing, I guess. and take maintenance while they do. At least they're not taking fuel while they do. Let's make sure that you don't shut down. Repairing these guys is very expensive. So coal should be coming in. There we go. Very good. If wood ever comes in, which is going to be hard because fuel. Yeah, it's all about fuel. And we don't have it. So again, this problem is going to take a long time to fix. But to fix it, I think what you have to do is you have to kill your economy. You have to kill everything, shut it all down, and focus on the things that matter to basically get yourself built back up again and then slowly activate things. I think this is something that will happen to people, myself included, when you try to go too quickly. You try to expand and you think you're going at a good speed. You don't think you're going too quickly, and then the game shows you that you are. And that's just kind of what's happening. I'm going to turn these on so I can get the naphtha that's already, there's already fuel delivered to these. So I want to get that naphtha into the system. And then I think if I'm good on rubber, I don't know if I am, this pipe that takes naphtha all the way around the island over to medical, that pipe's been paused. So all of our naphtha supply that's heading this way should be stopping at rubber. So there shouldn't, if we are producing naphtha, it should be going here so that we can create additional rubber. You can see that some rubber is on its way, but yeah, now we're in a rubber problem. We're gonna have an electronics problem in a second. Maintenance. It's coming in okay. It's not bad. I think I would like to maybe get this belt upgraded so things can go to the other one quicker too. We obviously have steel running into maintenance direct, and I think maybe we can accelerate this just a little bit. We don't have the unity, never mind. Okay. I think it's more important still that these run in. Oh. So, wait. If that's what this formula here is for. Yeah, okay. Good. Yeah, it's like if recyclables is backed up, then this is why. Recyclables takes maintenance too, but unfortunately it's all backed up now because of broken glass. It's not processing any of the recyclables. Because we're not processing recyclables, this is getting backed up. Well, it was. I think it's not anymore, but I saw this full earlier. And with that full, then the town couldn't put any more in, so more waste, basically. These aren't full anymore, so that's no longer going to be a health problem. And then as far as health goes, the clinic has a bit of a surplus here, right? What I'd like to do is pause this belt and effectively cut the clinic off from medical supplies for a little while. Since we're not creating them, since naphtha's not coming this way, although you're already halfway done, I could probably just get you to, low power. So that's it's going to happen. There's no way I can avoid the low power situation right now. I really need maintenance to be under control. It's shutting down everything. I'm actually surprised that this isn't able to deliver them fast enough. We should have a constant stream of these, like kind of nonstop. And they're just, every time, there's 3 of them. So fundamentally, production-wise, I have 7 maintenance facilities online right now. And I just can't catch up. But the thing is, it is catching up because a lot of the red icons, like those are still there, but a lot of the red icons, they're going away because maintenance is being applied to them automatically. So like I still didn't recover these, and yet their maintenance is still going up. So it's not that this isn't doing enough. It is doing enough. It just takes a long time to recover when you are down. And that's why, again, you kill your demand so you can focus it. Chickens are not dead yet, and we can see the feed is there. So that's good. Feed's getting backed up a little bit. I suspect corn will probably be taking a huge hit here. And it looks like it is, yep. So corn is empty now. And I don't think I've solved the chicken feed problem, but I might be able to pause growth just so we don't get an over like, we don't get too many chickens right now, right? We don't need the eggs. So I'm going to go ahead and put the priority back to being there so that everything goes that way first. And I'm going to take a look really quick over here. I would like the trucks to be focusing on refueling from here, not refueling from wherever the hell. Specifically, I think they're fueling over there. So one thing I guess I should probably do, I've already marked that one to do it, so that takes care of that. This one is so close to this one that it sucks to have to run all the way over there to get your fuel. But it takes the pressure off of this fuel supply, and that's what I really need to do. I need the pressure to be off of this fuel supply. You're a producer of fuel, so I should probably repair you. We don't have any unity, so I need to now reduce how much unity I'm spending. So let's remove the boost on that and remove the boost on you. Now we can at least get a surplus on this. As far as captain's offices and stuff goes, I mean, I was serving lots of household goods. Obviously can't now, so might as well shut that off. This is with Fuel Saver 2 active. This is our reality, and that the Fuel Saver 2 has been active for quite a while. And again, I'm kind of a little bit perplexed as to why fuel is not recovering faster. You can see that we have oil in the tank now, right? So there should not be an oil supply crisis currently happening here. These things should be producing, and it should be sending fuel that direction into the boat so that it can go get more stuff. Of course, now we're running into a power problem. Let me take a look at the power problems. Well, it's all generators, which is maintenance. And I simply don't have the unity to fix them. So again, it comes down to maintenance. Maintenance is the one thing I wanted to correct first. So these should start getting backed up. Yeah, that's what I want to see. You should be constantly producing. And again, with the glass being backed up, I know why, because this stuff is offline, but it's because we don't have coal being sent here. If the coal supply can get under control, great. And so far, it looks like at least the coal supply for power anyway is looking pretty good. Let's priority out on this side. We can send more coal down the line here. And then I want to see wood. Are we doing anything with that? There's a little bit of wood there. We're burning it into coal right away as soon as it gets here because this is backed up already, which is good. These also do not require power nor maintenance. So this is a way of getting coal without maintenance. As long as we have unlimited wood, we have unlimited coal. I think that's kind of how that works. I would love to have the upgraded port here, but I don't think it'll fit because this is all like filled in. I think I need to fill in the land this direction in order to do it. Yeah. I still don't know. I mean, it's not my job to know, nor is it my business to know, I guess, but I still don't know why they decided that it was a good idea to, you know, make you rebuild the entire port to get to get level 6 and level 8 on there. It doesn't make sense to me why they would have to do that. All right, we've taken care of the waste on this now. I can pull some trucks off of that now. I'll just leave 3 of these there. But because they're closer, right, we could get rid of that supply a lot faster. Look at all these trucks doing nothing. Just sitting here doing nothing with no jobs. Way too many trucks, man. Thankfully, they're all like the level 1 trucks, so I'm not paying the additional maintenance for those. All right, so we can now see that steel is kind of coming in, right? We've had coal delivered. This is good. As soon as we start getting coal delivered here reliably, we'll start getting steel reliably delivered, which is what we needed. So I can unpause this belt now. And I'm going to go ahead and pause this belt. And I'm going to go ahead and redirect this belt. And then we'll see how it goes. If it's still not good enough and we still need to provide for maintenance, then I'll just turn this back on and everything will just, work itself out. And if not, then this belt just sits there. It's not really in the way or anything. So Let's go ahead and remove the boost on this. So we're not seeing 0% consistently now. This is a good sign. This means that a majority of our island is now being maintained, at least what's required of it. So as we build this up to getting like 50, 60, 70%, if we can get that number up, we can start turning on infrastructure over time to figure out where we are in terms of like our ability to keep up with it. We still don't have fuel here. And again, I'm really unsure as to why. One of the things it could be, although if it was this, then this tank would be full, so that can't be it. But I was gonna say one of the things it could be is that I have this pipe paused, which is just enough to like remove fuel from being able to go this way. All the fuel resources from these two get pumped directly to that ship. So that's 30, 70, 72 diesel every 60 seconds gets pumped to this ship, which mathematically should be fine since this process takes 2 months anyway. But it's clearly not. You can see there's 0 fuel being sent here. And that's got me, yeah, it's got me a little bit worried. This is just spouting off nonstop and it's going in that pipe. It's sending, it's going in there. At least it should be. Yeah. 18, 19, 20. It's a very slow process for refueling, but I think our refueling process is not up to snuff, man. We got a good amount of coal now, and this belt is now backed up. Good. What we'll do now is turn this back on, and that will feed coal this direction. And we've got these two off right now because, well, actually they don't take maintenance, so I can turn them on. The belts to take coal in is off, so I can unpause those. And we should have a good supply of naphtha being sent through here and getting it into where rubber is. I shouldn't have much for delays on this. I mean, naphtha is obviously it's getting sent to the boilers as well. And so I think what ultimately this is we have negative with naphtha, right? We're not serving enough naphtha, which again, I thought for sure we were making enough fuel here. Like I crunched those numbers. Our demand, our X vehicle demand, so in other words, demand for fuel on this side of the island, not including vehicles, was 96 units. And we were producing 360 units. So without vehicles being considered, we were only using less than a third of our supply. But vehicles obviously take a lot. The one thing I didn't factor, and I should have, I didn't do this, and that's my fault. I didn't factor 3 cargo ships. And so we need 136 for a single journey on that one, 100 on that one, and 100 on that one. So right there, that's 336 units. And so that should tell me right there that we're actually not making enough diesel. So if I want fuel to recover, I need to produce more fuel. I need to have more oil, more fuel being produced. So let's take a look at recipes really quick. And we're going to take a look at diesel. See if there's anything that's feasible for us to create diesel from. Ethanol and cooking oil could be something. 15 units of it and 36 units of it here give me 54 every 60 seconds here with chemical plant 2. My problem right now is that creating 15 ethanol is a very lengthy process. It's just not easy to do. Now, we could sacrifice a little bit of our naphtha production by switching our heavy oil cracking over to creating diesel instead of making naphtha. But I still think the naphtha creation process is a better process, and I don't believe we're actually producing enough naphtha as is. And that wasn't realized until we added medical, right? We were creating enough naphtha before. It was just enough. But once I added medical, then that kind of changed things because these 2 units require naphtha and chlorine to create plastic. I could switch this to ethanol, but again, the process to make ethanol is very slow and very expensive. Notice how it's 4.5 units every 60 seconds for each of these, okay? So we're talking 18 units every 60 seconds is currently being produced, right? 18. In that 18, we're currently consuming how much? We're consuming half of it. All right, 9. So we've got 9 spare ethanol, which should be going in this tank and filling up, but it isn't, because I don't think we're producing it consistently enough, because it requires corn mash. And that corn mash requires this process. 9 corn mash is only 12 corn. Or sorry, 9 corn mash is 12 corn, and also water. So ethanol is a very expensive item to produce. It is not very efficient to make for this process, which is why I opted for naphtha. However, if I could somehow use the spare to make a little bit of extra fuel every once in a while, that maybe is worth it. Maybe. I don't know. I want to see recovery here. So we're seeing maintenance now. The ticker's at 28%. And it's going to keep going up so long as we can keep the steel going. And the steel is going to be kept going as long as we can keep coal going. Coal is fully saturated on this belt now, thankfully. So steel is getting kicked out. We are making steel. I don't know if it's fast enough, but we are making steel. We are not consuming many resources. Like all the wood and stuff is not being consumed. So all wood production, right? All wood, distribution, I guess, is being directed towards creating coal with it right now. Because I wanted more coal. I want this to fill up, and indeed it is already full, so that's good. And so we've got this tank filled up too. One of the things that makes it difficult to fill up these tanks with fuel, at least before in the last crisis, this time not so much, but one of the reasons why it was so hard to fill this up is because all the trucks were taking it so that they could distribute it over places like this, to places like this, etc. Right? We need these little fuel stations to have fuel, and so they were robbing it from this supply and constantly bringing it. But clearly, we're not making enough. So I need to do something to fix that problem. And at the moment, if I shut down cargo ship for wood, I think that would be okay. If I shut down the wood cargo ship temporarily, we'll pause all of these. Because they all require maintenance, and we'll also go ahead and pause the ship. The ship doesn't require maintenance, but it has 22 workers on board. So we're going to go ahead and pause these things. They take maintenance. Now they don't. They also take fuel. Now they won't. Also, if the truck ever gets fuel and brings it in here, we won't use it right away, so it'll build up a surplus for later. And the wood on the map is full anyway, so we can go ahead and bring that down, which saves us on the Unity for it. Now that's paused as well. So we're, again, reducing demand, shutting down the things that are non-essential until we can get things corrected. This is the process you have to do with this game when things hit the fan. It's not pretty. It's not that fun. It's a little frustrating sometimes, especially if your oil is perfectly eligible to be picked up, and yet you just simply can't get it done. In this case, it looks like we just got it done, but now we're waiting for additional fuel to come in. I am just beside myself on how these things can be firing nonstop, and their fuel supply is exclusively being provided. Wait a minute, it's not exclusive. Where are you going? Oh, half of it. Okay, it's not exclusive. Now I'm beside myself. Now I've fixed it. Okay, so it's not exclusive. Now it will be exclusive. This fuel supply from these two is dedicated to that boat. All right, it should not be going anywhere else other than that boat right now. That's the way it's supposed to be anyway. But my pipe spaghetti, I brought it this way instead, which kind of negates the entire point of, like, you know, pausing this. When did I do this? I wonder when that happened. I don't know why I did that. Oh, wait a minute. I know why I did this. Yes, I know why I did this. I was supposed to do this. That's why I did this. This is supposed to be going that way, so that additional fuel could be going towards the boat. The belt, okay, so the pipe's in the right spot, it's just not facing the right direction. Fair. So now this boat should be going and leaving a lot faster, and this should be filling up. And once this fills up, then I can start splitting the supply again. So like right now, this half of it goes that way, and or it's supposed to be a third. So like a third of it goes that way, 2/3 goes that way, a third of it goes this way, but it's not a real ratio just because 60 and then 200. The thought in my head was that it would just fill up, like it would fill whatever it can do. I don't even have 0.1 unity. Yeah, I mean, it says I do, but I apparently don't. So that feels bad. How do we get more unity? I can remove boosts. Boosts are very useful. Actually, I can do it by providing medical. If I can provide medical to people, then I will get a unity bump for doing that, and that will get me kicked back up. So I wanted to wait on the medical supplies and to strategically disperse them. So if we got a sickness or a flu or something, I could then flip it on and then fill this up, right? But it also has a unity bump, and I missed that part. I didn't quite see that part. So we're going to turn this back on and allow that unity to come in. And now I should have more than enough to do the things I need to do. Yeah. Are we ready to... I don't think we need plastic right now. Like well, we were full. We're not full anymore on plastic, but we were. That's what the naphtha's being used for. Disinfectant is just really needing ethanol and plastic. So, I mean, if we turn this stuff on and let it create disinfectant, that's the thing we're light on, is disinfectant here. Yeah. All right. Well, I'll let these go, but I'm gonna have to send naphtha this way sooner or later. Maintenance is up to 100% now. So what we want to do now with maintenance at 100% is we can start flipping certain things on. Things that are important to flip on. So we'll flip on the process for parts 1. We can get those going again. So all of that's going. I'm also going to go ahead and flip on parts 2. Just 2 of them. And I'm going to allow the electronic supply to feed into there. Once again, because these are full. Which is very good. Rubber should be getting backed up a little bit, which is fine. It's very good to see that. We definitely don't need... Well, household goods will give us more unity. So why don't we go ahead and unpause the glass and allow that to come back in. We can then flip on, I think, probably 4 of these. So, yeah, get that process going again. How's our copper? Copper is empty. So we're going to go ahead and turn on copper again. And we'll turn on you. And that takes care of that. Now, all of these things, of course, still need maintenance. If they were light on maintenance before, then what they'll do over time is they'll just get more. So they're going to start consuming more than usual. But since we're 100% now, that's where we want to be, right? We don't need to use Unity for it. Even if it breaks down a little bit, the maintenance will take care of it, and it will slowly fill up. Everything we turn back on will slowly get its maintenance cycle back on track. You can see that we get this... It's a little bump, but then it just goes into here and it gets just sucked out of there like right away. But this is almost full. That's 120. Good. So with this filled, this can start to build up. I'm hoping I see that happen pretty quick here. If we can just keep this boat going, you know, it's got 163, and now it's waiting until there's cargo to pick up. So we got this maxed out and this maxed out. So now it's waiting for cargo again. Weird. I hate this. I hate this. I hate how 2 of these with 4 tanks is not enough to grab it, but one of them, you just add 2 more tanks to one boat, and all of a sudden there's a wait, right? Ugh. Sucks. It takes 600 red parts to upgrade one of these oil rigs. We obviously don't have that many, but we could work towards that many, potentially. We'll see. All right, anything else we want to turn back on? I don't think we have much pause. These 2 things are paused, of course, but that's okay. This is sitting here doing... doing nothing. Ah. So that's the thing. Whoopsie. There you go. My bad. Make the iron. Although, we don't really need to. But, you know, we could pause that, actually. Save on the maintenance. Because it's not actually needed. And that also saves on the coal, too. So, I think we got everything back up. I don't think I have anything else paused aside from slag. Which, I mean, with sulfur backed up, we actually do need to turn these back on. To process these. So, these are going to start taking some maintenance, too. There we go. And, you know, honestly, I think I'm going to shut these down. I want to see all this glass. Yeah, no longer backed up. I want to see all of this glass just being pushed through as fast as possible. I did eventually upgrade this entire belt. So the broken glass belt all the way over to this tank is level 2 already. And it flows level 2 this way. And it is the priority in for this balancer. So the regular glass mix will just sit here and wait. And like we have so much of it that I don't even know if this entire process is needed right now. So we're just gonna let it sit there and do nothing for a little bit. Okay, cool. Water's good. I think steam is fine. I don't think we need the 2 coal boilers. They are there in case I need them, but I don't believe we need them. And again, the entirety of this supply is dedicated to the boat. But with this now filling, that's a great sign. So that's a really good sign, actually. So with that filling, I guess what I could do is simply pause that, which will send the entirety of these 2 back to the tank. So we're no longer going to use these 2 to fill the boat. And then once this tank is like full, then it will back up in this pipe. And once it does that and backs up in the pipe, it will then exclusively go towards this direction. And so I'm going to wait till it does that before I turn that pipe on. But that should send even more fuel this way so we can process it with these big bad boys here and make more naphtha. Now, looks like we're down on power. Is that because of... That happened immediately upon turning this on. I'm wondering if that has to do with just the steam that's moving through. I mean, there should be plenty of steam moving through this. There should be. Yeah. 53, 52, 50, 48, etc. I mean, it's only one, but we also have auto balancing, and we're not using anywhere near our capacity, right? Capacity is at 21. So, okay. So what do? We got tree harvester without any trees to harvest. Good for you, tree harvester. You know, honestly, I've got these 2 big ass trucks assigned to you. I'm going to give you 2 more trucks, I think, because I can just take this wood. That's fine. I was going to use this wood for my second little village, if you will. I kind of wanted to save this, and we could use it to supply the second town. So I almost don't want to give you any more. But tell you what, I'll compromise and go about this far with you. You can have this, but I think the rest of this is going to have to wait for later. So all that wood can now be gotten by you. There is this station here, which should probably get some fuel delivered to it. So I think I'm going to have you keep this full. We'll have 1 dedicated truck on that. And I think we'll have 1 dedicated on this station too. So we'll see how that goes. All right, so fluids 2 is short on water. Let's take a look. So this might have to do with the Unity that we had before. Go back to the captain's desk, turn on water saver, and I think fuel saver, like, I think that still needs on. It's so expensive. 2 Unity for 15%. It's so expensive. I'm gonna turn it off just to see what happens. I can turn recycling back on just to help with the waste. And I think I want my farms to be boosted. So I want to use this extra maintenance that we're going to be having here. We're turning on household goods again, so let's crank that up so we can get more. And hopefully that equals out for maintenance. Let me see how our household goods are doing. So we need 72 every 60 seconds. That's the settlement need. 72 every 60 seconds. We're currently producing 16, 32, 64. So we do need you two on. All of these on. We should be able to handle 72 every 60 seconds. And it's 72.2 because of the edict. So they demand, the consumption is up by 35%. So if I was to reduce this and turn this off, then my demand will go down. Okay, so no lab available, it says. I'm gonna start cranking. We got all sorts of lab parts here. So let's turn on, let's say 2 of these. Let this supply start running. And we'll start making red lab parts. We'll turn on these 2 once this is mostly depleted. We have a full tank on the white parts already here, so we don't have to rob our mechanical parts just yet to do that. We need to make sure steel is up and running, and everything seems to be okay. So crisis averted, question mark, right? I mean, it's possible. If I turn the lab back on, we're currently researching ship armor 2 so that I can send my big boat over to the pirates, okay? And actually, since I have 304 workers, that's more than enough for crew. Let's load the crew here, and let's end this video by going pirate hunting, okay? 430 battle score. Who can we pick a fight with? Huh? We can actually explore this over here near the uranium mine. Kind of want to take out some of these pirates, though. 470, 400, 260. Ah, here's a fight we can handle. Let's go pick on someone that's not our own size. There we go. All right, good. Now fuel, right? We've reduced it. We're not bringing in wood right now. And so we probably should pause this really quick. And yes, all of our wood is now on the belt. That's the last of our wood headed that way right now. So fuel is still a problem. We still have to do something with that, and I really don't want fuel saver on. So I'm going to think about, what do I want to convert for fuel in the future, right? What do I want to make fuel with? I mean, we could always bring back the old trusty basic distiller. Just take the oil direct with coal, but I'd rather not. I would really rather not. We could also potentially, let's do like distillation stage 1, right? If we bring in a couple more on the distillation stage 1s, if we can get enough oil, that is, right? I mean, obviously that needs to be happening, but if I can get a little bit more on that, we could turn the medium oil into diesel again, add more light oil into the mix, send it this way, add like 2 more of these, which gives us more naphtha, and naphtha's backed up, which is not good. How are you backed up? Hey, wait a minute. Oh, that's a thing. So this pipe needs to be upgraded. Oh, that's, yeah, okay, sure. Yeah, we'll do that. But how are you all backed up? Do I still have that pipe paused? I do. Okay. Which is fine, because maintenance needed to be under control. So if I unpause this pipe now, maybe we can get naphtha sent that way. And if naphtha can just go that way, that will bring it back over towards medical, right? So we're kind of turning things on in waves, okay? Seeing what things are. But I obviously need to produce more fuel. And it might just come down to needing another cargo port. I could put one over here and then piping in a whole bunch of oil and setting up an extra distillation center right here with additional fuel. I mean, that just might need to be what happens, you know? So I'll look into it. But I think that's going to do it for today's video, where we have solved most of our problems. Apparently the maintenance is going here, but not fast enough. It is going in here, but it just didn't happen fast enough. So I did pause them when it was desperate for unities, or desperate for repairs. So I guess I'll just feed that the way it is now. Okay. So let's just do that. Power is an intermittent issue that I think will just get balanced out over time as it goes. We have a ship in battle. Let's do this. Destroy. You got cooked. Oh, you got so smoked. There it is. And there's our canola seeds. We found them. Yay, canola. Canola seeds. Good. I'm kind of thinking we should do some of these. You know, maybe send our vehicle parts over there. Obviously need to do a better established way of making them. I don't know if we have the infrastructure for food packs, but that could be a thing too. And gold would be great, but it's so far away. So I'm not sure I'm ready for gold on this map yet, but I'll think about it. Might do something with the settlements here to get 600 crude oil brought in here, because that would be nice if I could do that. That would help. In any case, bring the ship back home, get it refueled, get it repaired. Thanks for watching, everybody. I appreciate it. Problems or crisis is somewhat averted, right? Kill demand. If you get that problem yourself where everything is shutting down, you need to kill demand until supply meets it. Wait for supply to build up, and then you can bring demand up with supply, right? Basic Econ 101. I'm out. See you guys. Bye-bye.